Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. I am so glad you're here. So look, today for you I'm making baked feta potatoes. So I'm using Yukon Gold potatoes that I've already scrubbed and washed really well, and I've already started cutting them up into cubes. So we're going to go ahead and finish that job and we'll get started with this. Now I'm going to tell you I use Yukon Gold potatoes because the skin on these potatoes are really thin and the meat of the potato is smooth. When it cooks, it's really smooth, it's not grainy, and it has a wonderful taste. And they also say that Yukon Gold potatoes are better for you. They have more nutrition. Okay, I am cubing these, like I said, but we're going to parboil them for 5 to 8 minutes. We don't want them cooked all the way through. We just want them partially cooked. So we're going to get those on the stove right now. Now I want these potatoes to have lots of flavor and not bland. So I'm going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of salt to these while they're beginning to cook. Most of that salt will be drained off. They have been boiling for about 6 minutes. I'm going to drain them and let them dry for about 3 minutes. I'm going to spray my pan really well with some olive oil. And I'm going to turn these potatoes over onto this pan. Okay, I'm going to leave them in my strainer, add my spices, and then I'm going to add my spices, toss them around, and then add them to the baking dish. So I have 1 teaspoon of thyme. Sprinkle that on. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Half teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I'm going to use about a half, and another teaspoon of salt. A teaspoon of oregano. These are going to be very, very flavorful. So much flavor. So a teaspoon of oregano. And then 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm just going to eyeball that. I'm just going to drizzle that over the top. And just toss these around. We're going to have the oven preheated at 390 degrees. And we're going to bake them for 30 minutes. Okay, I have a head of garlic. Actually, it's not quite a whole head, but I've cut the top off, and I'm just going to set this in the middle to roast with these potatoes. When they're done, I'm going to remove it and remove the cooked garlic cloves and then add it later. I'm going to put everything away and get this counter cleaned up. I think this went on the thyme. These little jars, these spice jars I bought at Amazon, from Amazon, have been the best investment. Time saver, they fit in my drawer. It's been really a good investment. Okay, I've taken the potatoes out of the oven, and I'm going to remove the garlic and let that cool. I'll set that here on the cutting board and let that cool. And now I'm going to add the feta, and I'm going to add about, let's start with a half a cup of crumbled feta. You could buy a block of feta that's not been crumbled yet and add it here, bake it about 15 more minutes. But my potatoes are about ready, and I really just want to add the crumbled feta to the potatoes and toss those around. And let it cook for another 5 or 10 more minutes with the feta. I think I'll actually add just a little bit more. Then I'm gonna top it off with about a tablespoon of lemon juice before I put them back into the oven. We're just going to drizzle that across those potatoes and toss them around. Just a few more minutes in the oven, and then we're going to get those out and add the garlic to that with the rest of the lemon. Now just a little bit more lemon juice, maybe half a tablespoon, and I'm going to add the garlic that I roasted so it's cooled. Now I'm going to mash this garlic and get all of the good roasted garlic out of the skin and mash that up with my knife. It's so sweet and we don't want any of that skin in there. Make sure you get it all out. Okay. And add that to our lemon. Then we're going to toss that in with the potatoes. I've got them out of the oven. And get rid of all of this extra. I'm going to scrape the garlic and lemon out of this bowl that I mixed it together. And then we're just going to mix that with those roasted potatoes. They're so crunchy and browned. It looks delicious. And when they're all done, well, they're all done now, but when I get ready to serve, I'm going to drizzle them with a couple tablespoons of honey. It's going to be delicious. So we're just going to toss this all around. I'm going to add them to a nice little bowl and then drizzle with honey and serve, as it's going to be a wonderful little side dish. So much flavor. How about we try one? Let's give it a try. Oh my. That tastes like something you'd get at a restaurant. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to top it off with just a little bit of that sweet honey. It'll be so good. Just like that, we have a delicious side dish. Thank you for coming by. I'll see you next time.